We're going to do plugs and a compression test today. Okay, first step. You're supposed to do this at operating temperature, so I've just been letting it run for a little bit. Should be warm enough now. The coolant temp gauge is up. Let's do the easy ones first. So we'll pull, here's the procedure. You're supposed to warm it up to operating temperature. You're supposed to unplug some sort of a crankshaft ignition sensor, which I can't see, so I might skip that part. I guess that's just so this thing doesn't spark, probably. Remove these. Remove all 8 plugs. You're supposed to open the throttle, I believe, but I've heard people say it doesn't really matter. Crank over 4 turns with your compression tester in the cylinder, and then compare the results. And there should be no more than, I've heard different things, 10, 15 psi between the cylinders, and they should all be around, I've heard numbers like 200, 210 psi, but we'll see. We'll see what this one does. This car has 89,000 miles on it now, so it's been driven. Okay, so let's get these plugs out, and then we'll do the compression test. Hot. That's going to be the hard one. You can see it already. Jesus, those actually look fairly new. Oh well, I bought new ones. I'm going to put them in anyways. Okay, this number 8 plug, the back one back here on the right hand side, is going to be the tough one to get out. It's not too bad, really. I'll show you my trick. You may have better tricks. I don't know. This is what I was able to do, or what I'm going to do. First, I got my spark plug socket. I'm going to drop it in the hole. Set the camera up here. Okay, spark plug socket. I'm just going to drop it in the hole. That's nerve-wracking in itself. 3.5-inch extension. Drop it in the hole. And find the socket. Some ratchets may go on there. I'm just going to use a little U-joint to give me a little more leverage. Like that, U-joint. And then this ratchet on there, and then we'll be able to pull this out, I believe. Yep, I got it loose. Pull the ratchet off. Should be able to do it by hand now. And as it comes out, I should be able to pop that U-joint off. U-joint's off. Now, it may slide out, or I may have to do one more thing. Yeah, that's not going to work. So what I need to do is pop the 3.5-inch extension now off of the socket and the plug. Get a screwdriver in there, just kind of push it down until it releases. There, so that's out. Now, finally, magnet. God, I hope this works. out. So plug socket, 3.5, U-joint, and a magnet. All right, you should also hook up a battery charger so that this thing continues to crank through all 8 tests. So we'll start with cylinder number 1. Let's really make sure it's okay. All right. You guys see that? Here we go. And number 2, check that out. 195. Cylinder 2, 205. All right, let's see what cylinder 4 does. $195. $205. Oh, that's weird. 230. What does that mean, guys? Just repeat that again. Here, I'll crank it over 4 times. I cranked that one over quite a bit. Oh shit, or is this? No, you know what? I wonder if this cheap gauge, I kind of knocked it down like that a little while ago, and now it's reading at like 25 psi above 0. I'll have to check the videos and see if that was like that before, but I don't think so. Maybe that's why it's reading 25 or 30 psi too high. Cheap gauges, guys, cheap tools. Okay, here's the results of the test. So starting at the front of the car here, cylinder 1, 200, 2, 205, 195, 195, 200, 205, 195, and what I think is 205 based on the gauge and what it was doing. Roughly, it's kind of in line with these other ones that I redid, and they're reading high on the gauge as well now, so 205. Anyway, all within 10 psi, which is pretty good. The numbers are a little lower, but you know, I don't know how accurate this cheap tester is. So let's say they're all around 200 plus or minus 5. Pretty good. These old plugs look pretty good. They look like they are fairly new. I really didn't need to replace them, but I'm going to anyway because I had to take them out. You may as well replace them, they're cheap. This guy's got these gapped at quite wide. It looks like about 45 thousandths. From the factory, the new plugs, we know these are the right ones because they say that on it. 41-602 and 41-602, so at least you had the right ones in there. From the factory, these are gapped at a little less, I think 35. Well, maybe it's 40. Yeah, it's probably right at 40 thousandths. I'm going to leave it at that. These ones are a bit more. I'd say these ones are more like 45 thousandths. Anyways, I'm just going to leave them at the 40 thousandths out of the package. Okay, so let's get going and putting the new plugs in. Okay, now the install on the back. Similarly, I'm going to put the plug in the socket. I'm going to drop it in the hole. I'm going to put the 3.5 inch down there. And I can feel it. I can spin it on. Spin it in without cross-threading it. And the U-joint. And then I can get a ratchet on that U-joint. Even easier with an extension. And there. And then we'll remove the whole apparatus here. Screwdriver to help me out. That. Then I'll separate the extension from the socket. And finally retrieve the socket with a magnet. In theory anyway. Done. Put a little bit of dielectric grease in here, in each one. Pop. You want to hear it pop onto the spark plug, or feel it. Pop. Pop. And this one's a little harder to reach. Pop. Okay, good. These aren't the original wires. These say AC Delco on them and not LT5 Corvette. But it looks like they're fairly new, like they've been replaced by the previous owner probably. So that's good. Now the other side. All right. Similarly, a little bit of dielectric. There's like some silicone or something somebody put on these. Is that normal? You guys know? It looks like silicone, like a gasket maker. Somebody smeared gasket maker at the top of these, and it's all over the boots. It's so strange. I think it's gasket maker. Okay, that's plugs and a compression test on the LT5. Thanks for watching.